I think when it comes to developing content, because people are always saying, how do I come up with content for social media? And I think a lot of businesses sometimes feel that they have to constantly reinvent the wheel, that they have to constantly create new content all the time, when actually they could be sitting on a treasure trove of material. And I always say to people, the first thing is you should be doing what's known as a content audit on your business. Have you already got material up on your website for download? Have you got case studies already produced? Is there video content? Is there images that you've already done that are what are known as evergreen? They never go out of fashion. They can be reused and repurposed. Because I guarantee you, if you actually look at everything you've produced from last year, the year before, you may suddenly realize, my God, we have so much stuff here that we have never promoted, or we only promoted once. And even then, when we promoted, we didn't do a good job on it because we hadn't looked at our customer personas. We hadn't developed the objectives. We now know how best to promote it. So that would be the first thing, is do that content audit. Second thing I always say is do a competitive audit. Look at your competitors. You know, what are they doing online, on social? How is their website designed? What social channels have they got on their website? What type of user experience are you finding that they use more imagery and video-based content, or is it more text-based content? Look at how their website loads from page speed. Even sign up to their email list to see, do they send you an email? You know, what is the creative that they use? Because when you get an idea of how your competitors are actually using social, it gives you an insight as to whether they're really way ahead of the curve, or you have loads of opportunities that you can actually become the influential business in the space. I think another key area is that you need to, as a business, look within your organization, have brainstorms. You know, brainstorms are fantastic, whereby you get key people together, key departments. If you have a sales team who are out meeting customers, get them talking to your customers to find out, well, what are the challenges your business are facing this month, next month? What do you like about our products? Is there stuff that we can be doing better? Like, I know there was a period there, and thankfully we've come out of it now, well, fingers crossed, you know, COVID, the pandemic. But you will always remember those businesses. I remember there was always a particular pension broker who was always out with brilliant content when the pandemic hit and people were worried about what was going to happen to their savings. And then people had questions about Brexit. What's going to happen to my business with Brexit? And it was always those companies who came out to tackle those fears with content that answered it. You were straight on. You were literally straight on clicking on that content, because they recognized that people were going to be freaking out about this. You know, they wouldn't be. So I think it's, once again, is if you can tap into what's happening in your market. You know, what are the trends? You know, do you know what's going on? Is there a certain trend that you're seeing that you can suddenly be ahead of the curve? I always believe when you're looking at content, you need to also, though, have a process. You may have all this content that, yes, let's get it out, fantastic. But you do need to drill down and have a couple of key focus points. One, from a social media perspective, what channels should we be looking at? You know, and this will ultimately allow you to filter in from your audience types, your customer personas, because if your audience is very much primarily a business to business, a corporate type audience, then I'll always be say LinkedIn, yes, potentially Twitter, yes, because Twitter has become the channel where people go for that bite-sized news. Facebook, organic, possibly not, but maybe utilize Facebook advertising, where you can target businesses who have very specific business interests. If you are very much video content, where it is about video, well, then maybe Instagram and all of the various features like Reels, Stories, and even maybe look at YouTube. Embedding video back into maybe some of your social media posts could be very, very strong. But I do believe that you have to marry the social channel to your audience. There's no point, for example, if your audience is not on Facebook or is not on Twitter, maybe having your content on those channels is probably not the place to be. I think it's, and even like there's channels like Pinterest, for some very visual channels, Pinterest might be something. And as I always say, the key word here is test. Test everything. It doesn't cost anything to test organically. And what I mean by organic is you're not paying to put the post up on Pinterest or the post up on LinkedIn. Test it. If you feel that potentially the test elicits some positive response, well then maybe put a bit of money behind it or put a bit more time and investment on it. When you're working out though your content, let's just say you've done your content audit, we've discovered we've got some amazing content, the sales team have come back with a load of amazing ideas. We're on trend with watching trends for reports. We could maybe be the first out about, a particular trend that's taken on in our particular niche. Creating an editorial calendar is a must. And what's an editorial calendar? Well, in effect, it is just a calendar, but you are setting out on each date of each week what content you're putting out on that day. Are we doing something on Monday because it's Monday motivation? Are we doing something on Wednesday because it's Mother's Day? Are we doing something on Friday because it's the International Foundation for XYZ Association? Having a plan, consistency, and giving responsibility to individuals who are going to manage that content and get it out is critical.